Hello, you chillin' ma? It is nighttime. I've been slacking clearly, but welcome to another episode. I'm going to be making an individual hot pot today, and I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about patience and practice. So let's get it. Hello to all of you beautiful people. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's doing very well. I hope people are staying hydrated. And if you're in Canada, I hope that you'll consider drinking some warm water because read up on the Eastern medicine. That shit is wild. But I welcome you guys to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about being patient, and I'm going to be making an individual hot pot for myself. I love soup, and I think we need to talk a little bit about soup. I think soup gets slandered in the food world, and especially out of the food world. It's never seen as a food medium that's attractive. No one's like talks about soup the same way they talk about like a steak or any other type of entree, but I love soup. And when you kind of look at it from both a historic context but also as a cooking method, I think it needs a little bit more love. Historically, soup was something that actually kind of elevated us from the past and allowed the human race almost to survive. Soups were a really great way to extend the number of ingredients both in quality and quantity, so you could feed a lot of people and make them happy. So on that front, it's pretty dope. I mean, like, we're one of the reasons why we're alive is because of cooking, and soup was a great medium for that. And the other reason is because it's a great method to cook. It kind of falls within that idea of taking ingredients and extracting every ounce of flavor possible from it through slow cooking. So for both those contexts, we need to stop slandering soup, go out and try some different types of soup, and open your mind. But anyway, on the patient side, I want to talk about being patient. This channel was actually not my first attempt at creating content of any form, and I've been trying to create content in various forms, I would say, for the past year or so. And especially during the beginning and during certain periods, it becomes very frustrating and honestly a little bit demoralizing. A lot of times I get really obsessive over numbers, and I just start to overthink a little bit. And I think the root of this is because ultimately when you're trying something new, even though you don't have the best skills, you usually have good taste in the specific thing you're trying, and you're usually a pretty good critic. What I mean is, for example, when I was a kid, I was brought up with learning a lot of different extracurriculars. And for example, in my visual art journey, I probably took art classes for more than 8 years, and I didn't really enjoy myself until 2 to 3 years in. And it was kind of that thing I was going back to. Even though at that time I wasn't a very good artist, I couldn't create very good art, and I wasn't very skilled technically, I kind of still knew what I thought looked good, visually, and I just understood that I wasn't capable of creating that. And I'm kind of applying that way of thinking to me making videos and making content now. I'm still pretty early in the journey, and I have a good idea of what content is good and what it looks like, but I also understand it's going to take me a little bit of time to reach that path. So I don't know, if you guys are trying something new, use this as an encouragement, because just understand you're probably a pretty good critic, you have good taste, and you have high standards for yourself, and honestly, you just need a little bit of time to build up the skills so you can reach those standards that you've set for yourself. So that's it. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you again next week. Mwah. Out of the Korean variety pack, this is my favorite fishbowl. This is my dad's favorite, like, hot pot thing. It's niangao, rice cake. Yeah, man. I mean, the main reason why I like making stuff like this is because people always think of cooking as very tedious, but I think they're just not very good at optimizing their time. Something like this, you can put on the stove once you do the prep, and like, let's say you're efficient and you do prep earlier in the week and cut up your vegetables. You just toss in a pot of water every like 20 minutes or so, go by the stove and throw some additional stuff in. And then in like an hour or so, you actually have like a really, really well-balanced meal, a good source of like vegetables, good source of carbs. You can put like udon in here if you don't like rice cake. If you don't like rice cake or udon, you can have it with rice on the side. So yeah, winter's coming up. Figured I'd show you guys this really weird recipe that I like. And yeah, let me know if you tried it out.